There's so much peace watching a storm come in after the heat of a long day. It's been rough, emotionally, mentally, physically. I love you, Patches. I see you. Thank you, baby. In the roughness and in the toughness. There is hope still. It's something I will never give up. Ever. I tried to. I got this tattooed on me. Oh, let's see if I can get it. And it's funny, the story, actually. I first got this tattoo. It's my second ever tattoo. It says love. And I wanted it to look like it was carved into my skin and blood dripping down. And I was gonna go back. Sorry, I was having a cigarette. I was going to go back to get hurts on my other wrist. And I never ended up doing it. And years later, or actually not even that long after, maybe a year or so, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I always seem to meet people who did tattoos and stuff. Really awesome people. And I decided to get Faith tattooed. I'm not going to show you now. It doesn't matter. I need to get it redone. But I have on one arm half of the word and on the other half. And when I put my arms together, it is expressed in its fullness. And then I have hope there, as you saw. Well, Sean and I had broken up, and this is, again, years later now. And I went with a friend of mine at the time, whom I still owe her money, and I will give her that money one day. God, I have so much fucking guilt and regret. And I'm still working through. But anyways, we got these tattoos together. They were matching, well, kind of. Hers, she decided to get nails and pins and everything stuck in it, but I wanted mine to look as if it was being sewn back up. Let's focus on that tree because it's magical. Anyways, when the guy was placing the stencil, it covered part of the hope, as you see, covered the E, and I was in such a dark place. I always still had that little sliver of hope there, obviously, with the heart being patched up and sewn, whatnot. Well, anyways, he was like, "Oh shit, man," and he was pissed because he was gonna have to redo the stencil or replace it, whatever. And I was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it," I was like, "I'm gonna get that covered up eventually, anyways." And I remember him looking at me very surprised. And he was like, "Are you sure?" And like, "I don't mind doing it." And I'm like, no. I'm going to get that covered up. And when I look back at that story now, it just shows me how much I first and foremost did not want to fucking bother anybody. I didn't want to make things difficult for other people. At least not intentionally. And I had kind of, I was giving up on hope. I was was totally giving up on it. Or at least I wanted to, I guess. Because it's always been kind of like, I don't know, I felt like it was weakness. Not like anytime everything was just absolute hell and absolute darkness, I just always still had hope, you know? And I'm grateful for that. I'm really, really grateful for that, actually. But, so in my head, I think Mother's Day was just really hard, too. Because, I mean, I'm a fucking human being, you know? And I don't know how I can miss something that I never really had, you know? But, like, even, like, Cheyenne, like, with all of her faults and everything else, I loved her so much. You know, she was so fucked up and such a mess, but so was I. I was okay with it all. You know, but now I see that, like, I don't know, but she was a lot more sinister than I thought. And I still don't understand. I still don't know for sure. I don't have any real physical proof of what my family did to me my entire fucking life, but I can feel it. And I know all this weird shit, like this fucking birthmark, once again a quotation, that I have on my back. It's like this huge blood blister, right? It's almost directly in the middle of where my solar plexus is. I'm not solar plexus, I apologize. My sacral. And it was this big blood blister that hurt forever. And when I asked about it, I was told that when Cheyenne was giving birth to me, she like stopped pushing, and so, sorry for the graphicness, her vagina apparently started closing on my back, and that's what created the blister. But that doesn't make any fucking sense to me now, because why would it only be in that one little spot? You know, wouldn't there be more? I feel like something was attached to me. I feel like they did something and attached something. It's just too coincidental that it's right at my sacral, and on top of it too, just all of the sexual abuse I went through, all of am I even allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't think I have enough viewers for it to matter, so hopefully. But my entire fucking life since I was a child, like, sex was everything. It was like, everything was about sex. My mother's father does I believe he still does it, photography of naked women out in nature and stuff, and it's actually kind of gorgeous, you know, a lot of the work, but I don't know, just everything was sexual growing up. All of the jokes, all of the one time I remember Cheyenne playing with me with my toys. It was like these Polly Pockets, and they were so cool, but it was all about boyfriend, girlfriend, and stuff like that, you know, and like, I had a stepbrother, and I have a lot of guilt towards that. I had a stepbrother, and we were young, and that's how I would fucking play. I'd play with his action figures, and it would be like sexual stuff, man. Everything that I did was sexual. I started masturbating, humping my teddy bears when I was like 6 years old or younger. I don't even know, to be honest with you. And I remember specifically James, my father, he was a hard worker, very hard worker. I remember that my whole life. And I don't know where Cheyenne was on one of her sabbaticals or whatever, and he needed somebody to watch me for the summer. So Vicky, Cheyenne's mother, and her boyfriend, I guess, offered for me to stay with them. And it was like for a couple of months, I guess, I was with them, and I would go to work with her boyfriend, Billy, and he would take me and sit me on his lap and show me all these fucking disgustingly perverted fucking pictures of like Disney characters and stuff, like having sex and doing all kinds of other stuff that you know, I don't know, what was I, 7? I don't even know. I shouldn't have been seeing any of that. And then I remember one day, because I had already been like humping my teddy bears and stuff before that, and one day he left the office and he had been showing me these pictures. Oh, and then not only was it cartoon characters, but he lived in a nudist colony, and he would take pictures of all these little kids, and he'd show me all those pictures and tell me these stories about how he would take showers with his stepdaughter and like just fucked up shit, man. But the way he spoke about it, it was normal, you know, that was normal stuff. And I was the weirdo for not thinking that that was normal stuff, you know? And anyways, but gosh, so thank you. I guess I am doing what I'm supposed to do right now. I was not expecting to come and talk about any of this stuff, but I'm glad I am. Obviously I need to. But so one day he left the office, all the pictures and stuff had made me feel some type of way. So I went under the desk and took my teddy bear, and you already know. And I remember him walking in. I'll never forget the look on his face, like, of like success. You know, like he had this smirk on his face, like he had won. You know? Oh yeah. And even then, sorry, I just noticed that the neighbors are outside. Even then though, like, I didn't understand that. I just remember it and can see it that way now, you know, but like then I didn't look at it that way. But I actually thought everything was totally fucking normal. I remember I ended up making a friend that summer and inviting her over to play video games, because I'd play video games with Billy and stuff when we were at home. And I remember her coming over, and he would start showing her more attention than me, and I'd get jealous. Like, he had totally fucking warped my mind, you know? I was only like 8. And I thought all of that was fucking normal. I don't know. Anyways, this is so random. I am going to post it. Not gonna talk anymore right now, but I think that this is a great jumping off point for just me being honest and getting this shit out. I'm finding it hard to write about it. So I'm gonna do it this way, because one way or another, I am no longer going to allow any of these things to eat me alive. You can't fucking have me. Okay? And I really pray that if anybody listens to this, and if you have anything that you've held on to and that you need to let go of. I hope that this inspires you to do so, because we are strong and we are not letting anybody hold us back anymore. We are not letting anybody have any power over us anymore. Period.